Hi guys, this is Elizabeth from Alexandria's Private Tuition, and today I've brought you episode 2 of Language Paper 2. So I hope you find this useful. This is for year 11 students whose exam is next week, and also for year 10 students who may also be having their mock exams coming up. So, last episode, we looked at how to read the extract, what we're particularly looking for in terms of what both extracts have in common. And we also looked at how we would kind of like annotate those extracts. Today, we're going to be looking at question one and question two. So, just a recap of what we did last time. Remember, we're still going to be working with the two non-fiction extracts from the first episode. Remember, in source A was a modern article celebrating the positive effects of technology on communication. And source B was the older text, the 19th century speech expressing concerns about machines replacing traditional values. Both texts are about change in terms of technology and society, but it shows the attitudes towards that change in different ways as well. So if you're not familiar with the extracts, go to episode one and have a look at how we broke it down. Just as a quick reminder, I've just put down what each extract is. So by all means, you can pause the video and then you can have a read through about what both sources are about. So that could be helpful as well. Right, so question one, I've called this the detective. So for this question, you have got to think like a detective. Okay, so your job is to decide whether a statement is true or whether a statement is false. Okay, so read the questions carefully, look for synonyms or paraphrased ideas, and then go back to the text to find evidence for it. Okay, so an example of what this question looks like, it says, source A, read from lines 1 to 5 and shade in the four statements that are true. Okay, so let's quickly go to source A. Okay, I'll read it over again and let's see what we've come up with. So, in just a few decades, the rise of smartphones, smart homes, and social media has transformed every corner of our daily lives. We are more connected than ever. Whether you're video calling a loved one across the globe or accessing a library's worth of information in seconds, technology has created a world once prepared for science fiction. Far from isolating us, digital tools have opened doors, allowing collaboration, education, and creativity to thrive like never before. So I'm just going to read that section because it literally says from lines 1 to 5. So now we need to look at the statement. So our first statement is technology has transformed daily lives. The article argues that smartphones are most harmful. We are more connected than ever. The writer believes that science fiction is dangerous. Technology has reduced access to education. People can video call with loved ones from all over the globe. And technology lets us access libraries' worth of information quickly. Now, for this question, again, my advice is you are being a detective. You need to look for facts. You're not assuming anything. A detective looks for clues and looks for facts, okay? Even though this question is 4 marks, you'd be surprised how many students get it wrong by not looking at the statements properly and going back to the source and finding it. So, this is our paragraph, okay, that we're going to be focusing on that I just read out. And then these are the correct answers. So, technology has transformed daily lives. We are more connected than ever. People can video call with our loved ones all over the globe, and technology lets us access libraries worth of information quickly. And there you can see I've highlighted where we've got the information. Okay, so for our four statements. So again, this question is very easy to get correct, but it's very easy to get incorrect. So make sure that you have read it properly. I'm not going to spend too long on this because, yeah, it's just about you reading the lines and finding the factual statements. Our next question is question two. And I actually quite enjoy teaching question two. So I've labeled it the reporter. So for this question, you are going to be a reporter. You are reporting on what you've read. So a reporter gathers facts and delivers clear, balanced summary of what is happening. Okay, what's happened. In question two, you are doing the same, reporting the differences between what source A and B say about the same topics. Sometimes the question might ask you to look at the similarities, but more often than not, does get you to focus on the differences. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. So you are reporting on these things. For this question, you are not using your what, how, why paragraphs, but we're going to get onto that in a minute because I'm getting ahead of myself. So it says, this is a question we're going to be working with. Both writers discuss the effects of technological change. Okay? Summarize the differences between what you learn about the writer's views on technology in the two sources. So I've highlighted the key things. It says to summarize, to basically a summary, a quick rundown of the differences between what you learn about the writer's views on technology. So in a nutshell, the question is asking you, how do both writers view technology in different ways? What is their attitude, their view towards technology? That is what you're asking. Now, before we do that, quickly, what is a summary? So, a summary is a brief explanation of the main ideas in a text. It shows your understanding of what the writer is saying without repeating everything or just adding your opinion. When you summarize, you select the most important points, put them down in your own words where possible, keep it short, clear, and focused. We are not doing PE paragraphs where we zoom into keywords and that sort of stuff. So, for this, what does this mean for your question too? You need to pick out key points from each source and explain what is the difference between them. You are not analyzing language. I repeat, do not analyze language. Don't want to hear the word this, the adjective this, the noun. No, those are all language things. You are not analyzing language. You are simply reporting the facts and ideas in a balanced way, and you are commenting on what we can infer from those facts and ideas. So think like a reporter comparing two interviews. Okay, so what structure do we use? PQI. So point, what is the difference? Q, quote, so use a short, snappy quote from each source. And I is your inference. So explain what this quote shows about the writer's attitude or idea. Now, the key thing for this question is that you must comment on the writer's attitude. So what we can infer. So from this quote, we can infer that the writer feels this, or from this, we can infer that the writer thinks this. Okay. So it's not just about your point and your quote. You have to talk about the inference, what we can infer. What do we understand about their point of view? Okay. So remember PQI for question 2. So I've just basically kind of broke down the structure that we can use. So you can pause the video, you can take a picture, but it's there for you. So you want to start off with a one sentence comparing both points of view. For this question, you're going to write 2 paragraphs, 2 short, snappy paragraphs. The way that my brain works is I've got to separate the paragraphs. So paragraph 1 will be about source A, paragraph 2 will be about source B. So again, one sentence comparing both writers' points of view. I'm going to show you what that looks like in a minute. Then source A, the first paragraph is PQI, and then source B, second paragraph PQI. So remember the differences, and we're going to use those lovely contrasting connectives, and I'm going to show you how to do that over the next slide. So again, we have got source A. Okay. So, in source A, the writer presents technology as a powerful and positive force that has improved modern life. So, that is my point about source A. The article states that it has transformed every corner of our daily lives, that we are more connected than ever. Can you see? I've used short, snappy quotes. Now on for my inference. This shows that the writer views technological change as something that brings people together and enhances how we live, work, and communicate. So from that quote, that's what I've inferred. They see it in a positive light. The tone is enthusiastic. The writer clearly believes that the digital progress offers opportunities and creativity, collaboration, and global connection. By focusing on the benefits, the writer aims to show that embracing modern intervention is the key to growth and innovation in today's society. Now, I know that's a bit wordy, and you're thinking, I'm not actually going to write it in that way. Okay? And I get that. I do get that. But I'm getting you to aim for those top grades. But once you have made a clear point, you've included that quote and you've made your inference, that is what we need to be doing. Source B, you would say, in contrast, source B expresses how much more critical and fearful, a much more critical and fearful attitude towards technology. The speaker warns that we are stumbling blindly into an age and suggests that machines are replacing people, saying that the laborers is replaced, cast aside by engines of cold iron. This reveals the writers believe that technology advancement is happening too quickly and is harmful in the traditional way of life. The tone is cautionary, even alarmist, as the speaker worries that society is losing its moral grounding and spiritual connection in favor of speed and convenience. So, in a nutshell, technology is taking away our humanity. Okay? The writer seems to value heritage, simplicity, and human emotion over mechanical progress, which he views as cold and dangerous. So it's very clear that we said that source A is for it, and source B is like, nah, we don't like it. It's replacing humanity. It's replacing that emotional touch. So overall, source A celebrates the progress brought by technology, while source B warns of its damaging effects. Okay? Nice, short, quick, and simple. This question should take you about 10 minutes. If you've got extra time, about 15 minutes. Okay? Now, like I said in my previous video, if you do not understand the extract, you will struggle to do this. So the key thing is that you understand what the question is asking you to do. Okay? So, final tips. Question one is all about being the detective. Only shade the statements that are clearly stated in the text. No guessing, no inference. Use exact words from the extract. Read specific lines that you're told to focus on. Do not go quoting from line 6 when it says 1 to 5. You will not get those marks. Double check each statement before you select it. So have your question paper next to your extract and be checking. Question two, you are the reporter. You are summarizing the differences in content, not analyzing language. Remember, no zooming in on keywords. No, 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 don't do it. Use the PQI method to structure your answer. Keep your answers balanced. Talk about both sources clearly. Make sure you are inferring. Do not just plonk a quote in there and don't infer. You need to infer. Okay? One paragraph for source A and one for source B, and then link the views in the final sentence. Okay, so overall tips, don't overcomplicate things. Use short and snappy quotes. Okay, and you've got some sentence starters there to help you. So practice writing under time conditions. I would definitely say that you need to do that. So like I said, 10 minutes if you don't have extra time, and if you have extra time, 15 minutes. So I really, really hope that you guys are finding this helpful. Again, you can find me on TikTok, you can find me on Instagram. Please subscribe, like, comment. Any questions you've got, I am here to help. And I hope, like I said, that you have found this useful. Bye.